my children, so to say, quote unquote, because truly they are not my children. They are not my children. I tell you. David, God told David, what you did in secret, your neighbor will do in the public. When Nathan went to meet David. But who was that neighbor? Was his own son. So I tell people, don't look at yourself and say, I'm the father. You take that position. You are not only person's father. God is our father. You are only a caretaker. So, I happen to be very close to my father. We are just like the way I am with my children. Friend. So close that I was calling him by his first name. But that respect, that honor, was there. But we are friends. And each time I had the opportunity, I'll go out with him whenever he was going out. Or when people came to see us, I was there. That was how I was able to gather some native intelligence and some ancient proverbs. So we're just friends. Go remember, my younger brother wasn't as close. So when my father would want to send a message to my brother, he would ask me to talk to my brother. So I didn't make it, but I was just my father's friend. We were close.
I mean, I have a follow-up question about your sons, but I will leave that to him. Then the Civil War. So the Civil War seemed to have made an impression on you. You had to flee your father's hometown, flee to one place, I think to your stepmother's place, then had to flee again, you know? And so that was another adversity you had to conquer. Can you share with us what that was like?
You see, when some people who have never seen war talk of war, like people will say, war is not destiny. War is death. So for some young men who had no idea the meaning of war, say we want to go to war. They have no idea. War is real, war is death, war is suffering. In Biafra we suffered. We moved, we can't know where to go. Some people left from wherever they were to go to wherever they could face. Because of war, we came back to my village, not village anymore. My village, but still like a village. It was the headquarters of a local government before the war. Unfortunately, we don't have money. Because today, no water, no light, no road. So from my time when the war came, by the way, I am from the town called Aba. The toughest war front in Biafra. Go and check it out. The toughest war front in Biafra. What we used to call them, the vandals experience in Aba. They didn't experience anywhere. We left, not knowing where to go. First of all, we went to where we were before, really. From there to my stepmother's place. From there again we have to go far. I pray that Nigeria will not experience war. I pray that God will give us men that will avoid war. War means hunger. War means death. War means suffering. But I can tell you the difference between the stench of an animal and the stench of a death or of a corpse. War is real. No food, nothing. I can remember when we leave a place called Nigeria where we were to go to another town. What were we looking for? Palm kernel. Palm kernel. To be able to break a palm kernel to eat. I know of a man. Don't know how many of you know what is called shrewd mouse. Shrewd mouse. So many of you are city people. That's why I'm a real man. I have a root. Shrewd mouse is that mouse that has pointed mouth. That mouth that stings. Because of hunger, a man hates shrewd mouse. We ate whatever we could afford or we could grab. But thank God today, I survived the war. Hunger would have killed me. Before the war, I don't know for whatever reason, I wasn't able to swallow anything. Even tablets. I can remember quinine. Many of you will not know quinine tablets. I would chew quinine instead of swallowing it. But during the war, the only thing people could afford was something to swallow. I nearly died, but I started enjoying swallow. I can remember again that the person you are saying just a testimony. During the war, we were trying to fashion whatever instrument you could as a weapon. We could build local gun. I was fashioning local gun. And to test the local gun, when I tried it, the barrel moved backwards. Thank God it did not, something with it was pierced my heart. So when I look at myself and what God has brought me through, I can't appreciate him enough. I'm here today because God kept me. I'm alive today because of his grace.
Round of applause for them. So is that sense of gratitude? Because the one thing that anybody who has spent any time with you knows is, one of the many gifts that your baby has given the world is a powerful quote: hope is inexhaustible. Is that where the joy that always comes from you comes from? The gratitude, the hopefulness, the energy. Is it from surviving these kinds of, first, personal adversity at the start of your life, second, national adversity, and for those who don't know, at least 3 near-death accidents that happened across your life? Is it the escaping of that gives you such joy because you know what could happen?
Yes, anytime I wake up and find myself on this side of the valley, I'm grateful. Because I know that many people sleep and they don't wake up. Anytime I wake up and I'm able to come down from the bed, I thank God, because the greatest journey of the day is the journey from your bed to the floor. If you're not able to make it, you go nowhere. So anytime I see myself, I know that I'm alive. To see you here, I'm always full of gratitude to God.
And you always wanted to be in ministry, in priesthood, since you were a child?
Yes. I happen to come from the tribe of the Levites, so to say, for those of you that understand. My maternal grandfather was a priest, an archdeacon in Anglican Church, a missionary. In fact, the first Igbo church in Jos, we are told, was established by my grandfather, Chude was called. My paternal uncles were all priests. One canon, the eldest one, was a catechist. My father was to join, but I ran through advice that because of his bluntness and forthrightness, that he may not be able to survive in the ministry. You know what I mean? So he was advised that he will not make it in the ministry. Then they went into education. So I don't know. It's in my blood that I'm to serve God. So I set out all my mind that I will not allow the lights in my families to go off. That I will carry the lights.
But as the story goes, so a lot of, unfortunately, there's not enough time, which means that you have to do with children after this. But there was a time when you drifted away from the faith, so to speak. And there were two things that happened. One was you wanted to do ministry in a particular way, to first make money and then go into church. I'm going to come to that. The other was, there was a drifting away until you met your wife, and then 4 years after the marriage and thing, she got born again, and then that experience got you. So what was the thing that made you drift away, and how did you find your way back?
Frustration. That's frustration. In my secondary school, I was known by some people as a righteous boy. Because truly, I was born again before the war. I was singing in crusade before the war. So after the war, in my secondary school, I was still working with God. So I was called the righteous boy. Even on that level, in fact, I was once the chapel prefect in the school before I became the senior prefect. So I was hopeful that I'll continue to rise. But after the secondary school, I was looking for admission. Fortunately, my cousin, first cousin, though the age that was so much, was the dean of Foreign Affairs. So I was sure that I was going to just, but that time Nigeria, as I said then, I couldn't get admission because it could not, let's say, go for me because by name. And I witnessed my junior in school getting admission. People, even my schoolmates, that I know that academically, they are not my equal. But because, like they said, man no man, I couldn't get admission. So I was frustrated. I was carrying five, I was a clerk. First, I was a clerk before they changed me to clerical officer. I was in the accounts department, carrying five. While my colleagues, secondary school colleagues and junior, were carrying their books, going for lectures. So frustration set in. I took the bottle. I started to drink. But one thing about me that I was never drunk. God help me. So in the morning, for me to have the courage to face my secondary school people, I will take what they call Nkwenu Soka, the palm wine. But one day, thank God, the Spirit of God was still in me. Ask myself, is this thing solving their problem? Why can't you just allow God to be God? I stopped everything. And since that time, not even 1% of alcohol has entered my mind. And to the glory of God, when I allowed God to be God in my life, I got admission. When the second jam. I didn't even know, someone told me that, look, I saw you are read in the newspaper that you have passed. Rest is story. God took over because I allowed God to take over my life. So for those of you who are frustrated, please, I'm asking God to give you a chance that you fulfill purpose. In Jesus' name.
So that segue was supposed to be an excuse to talk about something that I consider very important. The very annoying love between you and your wife.
Annoying?
Yes, it is.
Wow.
It is. If you see them,
annoying to you?
Yes, to all of us.
Annoying. Maybe we do it more.
To sit with you and her and to watch is to watch a romance novel, in action. All those cliches that people talk about when you find your life partner, all the things that you are supposed to, that people dream about. Now, the interesting thing is that I think you guys are 37 to 38 years in marriage now, but you made the decision to get married in 3 months. You told her in 3 weeks. You told her in 3 weeks that, you told her is that, babe, when are we going to Abaga? So
no, I told her we are going to Abaga.
Okay, not even when are we going, but we are going to Abaga. So she asked you, is this your Bushman way of asking her to marry?
Well, because when I had asked God, I had a time limit with God. I was busy, taking care of some domestic issues. That time was running out. And I asked God. God listens. God hears. God answers. And God is a long story. Because says, what of this? Then I could remember, she has something to do at the University of Nigeria and Nsukka. And I had a wedding to do, a family wedding. And she happened to be a friend to a friend. And all of us were going. Well, I never told her I loved her. But I know that she's a very intelligent woman. And knowing that, to the glory of God, I wasn't misbehaving. But to tell her that, on our way, we are going to go to my village. I think she knew what that meant. And at that time, there was no phone. I told my father, I went to my father, that I was bringing a daughter to him. Unfortunately, my father didn't even get the letter. So when we all arrived with other colleagues, other friends that my father knew. I said, who this one? I said, because I don't feel like I'm bringing my daughter for you. I said, And my father, like I said, was my friend, a very wonderful man. He understood that saying that I am bringing a daughter to him, did hand like this, and she had no choice that to go into the working place. And here we are, waxing stronger and stronger. And according to you, I'm not you. We have no suffering.
The pastor of the nation, Pastor Chude, said that, he said, power couples evolve from mutual submission. Yeah? And that's powerful because one of the things that makes people admire you, that makes you such a huge role model to so many men, is how you are able to stand in your own light and still allow the flame, the burning flame of your life, to allow, not to allow, to enable, to create the conditions for her to be a person. Many people, many men are often intimidated by a woman like her. How do men build the fortitude, the character, the space to allow that mutual strength to happen?
Real men. Real men. It's not a question of age. There are some 90-year-old boys. But real men understand what it means. The first man was Adam. And Adam was questioned. He said, the woman whom thou gavest me, he gave excuse. As far as I'm concerned, men, whosoever you marry, it's an assignment from God. And God is going to ask you. By the way, she is God's daughter. And I know that God is going to ask me, my daughter that I gave to you, what did you make of her? So, I want to, when I get before my God, I will say to him, your daughter that you gave to me, see what I've made of her. Every man should make sure that you appreciate, that your wife appreciates, not depreciates in your hand. So I'm on a divine assignment to make sure that she is the best she can ever be. Real men are not afraid of their wives. Because in marriage, two of you are one. Two of you are one. So if you are working against yourself, there's something wrong with you. God helping me. I want when I appear before him in glory to be the greatest woman ever on earth.
That one requires a round of applause. That one requires a round of applause. Before asking the next question, I want to read something from her testimonial about you. Beside God and my parents, Chinedu is the wind behind my sail. I married a man so confident and comfortable in his own skin that he promotes the greatness of everyone around him and never feels threatened. What can one say of a husband who, for two reasons, often threatens me that I have no choice but to become everything God has equipped me to be? Everyone who knows us well can attest that ours is one of those marriages that God took time to plan for purpose. Chinedu loves me beyond comprehension. We both enjoy each other's company in ways that are simple and yet beautiful. Actually, we both incomprehensibly just love each other so much. Ours is a true love story. No, there is no one in this world that could have married me as well as Chinedu. And in reading your testimonial, what I realized I had never thought, because in my own case I'm closer to mommy than myself, is that just the same we see her and we see that she's the wind behind her sails, you share that you are the wind behind her sails, you share that she's also the wind behind her sails. That for you to become, to fully become. I mean, you share one of the stories that one of the things that struck me is when she earned her first salary. She brought it to you and said, take it. And so, in what ways has she helped you become a better version of yourself?
If you really know me, I was a natural man. How do I put it? When I went for my convocation, I tied wrapper to go for my convocation because I live in Nigeria. I wore my traditional, carry my walking stick, and tie my wrapper to go for my convocation. I love nature. Because I'm a pastor in Redeeming, if you allow me, if I'm, let's say, in Pastor Jerry's church, I will wear jeans throughout. Because I think it's allowed. But in Redeeming, you have to appear corporate. Why? So that everyone will be warm. Because if you allow it, you know that this person is a Yoruba, this is Igbo, this is Hausa. But with corporate dressing, you see every person as one. Because he wants me to be the best pastor I can ever be. She mentioned that the suit that I wear, in fact, most of the suits, if not all, she bought. So, Russian travels, she see anything that is good, that will suit me as a pastor. In fact, even in dresses, no, this time, no. You are colorblind. I said that even if I'm colorblind, I'm able to see you. Lines. So, in every way, even the sermon said today, that grammar, you didn't speak it well. I'm proud of what I am in. Because I didn't go to nursery school. And truly, I am among the people that stood under the tree. I mean it. I'm not joking. Those of us from the east, you know, when we are doing, they call it crying. There are two black birds sitting on the wall. That's for you. But what we were saying was one name Peter, one name Paul. Because we thought they were saying my brother Peter, my brother Paul. We didn't know they're saying one. We are saying one name. So she brushes me up. I'm very, yes. She corrects me. She edits me. By the way, I teach her Igbo. She teaches me English. Just following up on that, there are a lot of things to follow up on that. Including, I hope the young men in the room are taking notes.
When she says you are colorblind, you tell her, but I can see you. RCCG, sir. If RCCG was a business, we would think that you and your wife are shareholders. You carry the church on your head. You know, not just in terms of work. There's from Freedom Hall to the care department of Freedom Hall, which I think was the largest in the church at the time, to TEAP. The book about TEAP needs to be written, which was what you found in Abuja in 2000, to the other 2 parishes we've led after that. What is it about the RCCG and your mission in the RCCG? I mean, it was in the RCCG that Pastor Tony Rapi told you that God had said, leave all your plans to set up one of the biggest motorcycle plants in the country and focus on ministry. What was it about this particular ministry that was able to convince you to give up on your life's dreams and follow ministry?
I think God allowed me to be in RCCG to fulfill the mission He has for me. Because, like I said, I didn't want to be like the priest. Because my father being a missionary, I could remember one man who was a forthright preacher. I loved him that time. But all of a sudden they transferred him. Why? They said the man was preaching hard message. And they didn't like him. They transferred him. And I said, look, I don't want to be paid. Because I want to preach the word of God without being paid. I thank God for the day that gave me that chance to do what God wanted me to do. So God brought me to the day where you are free based on righteousness to preach the truth, not only a DC. And I believe that whatever your hand finds to do, do it well. I believe that whatever you are doing, do it as unto the Lord. So, Redeem was available, God brought us here. So we serve God. We have the privilege to serve God without restraint.
And that brings to mind, I know that, obviously under President Olusegun Obasanjo, he requested a little help with the chaplaincy in the villa. And when President Goodluck Jonathan also took over office, he asked you to continue. Now, what people may not know is the backstory of your many interventions at the highest level of government from the side. If an ex-governor hadn't written a book, Accidental Public Service, you must have known that you, for instance, were called in to put out many fires, both at the economic management team level, between ministers and etc. Do you sometimes feel, I don't know, some kind of way that huge national contributions like that are not spoken about because you do them behind the scenes? That people may not recognize some of the huge contributions you've made at crucial moments of when democracy had just returned and we're not sure whether this was going to last. And if not, why are you so comfortable with those achievements not being stated in public?
God called me, not man. Therefore, whatever I do, I don't do it for man. And just like us, we don't need man to validate us. What we want is for God to validate us. We don't care what people say. We care what God is going to say of us. God has given me the opportunity to appear before high and mighty. And every opportunity I have is to ask God, what is the assignment for this person or for that person or for that season? So, well, they have loved me to be coming to the villa for prayer, but I chose to go there once a week. And because I'm not a good preacher, no, I'm not a good preacher. Sometimes I wonder why people come to my church. But I preach through the word of God. So when I go for my weekly, I ask God, what is the message? So all I have to say is, please open so and so. You read what is in the Bible. And I said, I finished my case. I remember one time, there was something that we were discussing. We were talking about tithes. Controversial. Am I correct? I don't care. So I asked the man who was there, I said, please go to Malachi. He read. I looked at him, an old man. Say, Baba, you are a robber. I didn't say so. You read it now. So after a few times, I remember the last sermon I preached at the villa chapel. And after preaching, God had to help me to have somebody to give me a ride, because when I'm invited, I go alone. I drive myself, I park my car at the parlor gate, and they came with bus to carry me. So that day, I preached a sermon that rattled everyone. Even the then chaplain was what did I call this man? God has helped me to give account of every opportunity I have with every person in authority. And every opportunity I have, I ask God to help me to give good account. So, I preach what God asked me to do, and I don't need man to commend me.
Final question. Just let me remember a certain party's national convention that they made the mistake of inviting a certain Ebele person to deliver the keynote address at. And that's the last time that they invited her to address it. Your sons and your daughter, when you see them, you talked about the close bond that you have with your family. When you see them, what are you proudest?
That they are who they are, and they are comfortable in their own skin. They don't need any person in a photo validator. They are comfortable being who they are.
Thank you so much for joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, a standing ovation for an interviewer's delight, first and foremost, a remarkable man. What you see is what you get. Pastor Chinedu.
The man who studied under the tree, teaching people about the tree of life.